If your husband has left and you're wanting to know how you can bring him back, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to be telling you about when you're separated, even if your husband may not even be talking to you right now, some things that can work to bring your husband back. Now, here's the thing. I know you've heard it all before. I know that you've seen the videos and the websites and the articles and whatever else of all of the people who promise these magic pills, these guarantees of, hey, say this one sentence and your husband will come running back to you, lusting after you, sorry that he ever left. This is not that video. No, in fact, I hate those other videos because they are full of false promises and people who are just trying to honestly prey on you for your money. And I can't stand that. My name is Kimberly Holmes. I'm the CEO of Marriage Helper. And at Marriage Helper, what we do is we work with marriages and teach them the best things that they can do, teach you, the individual spouse, the best thing you can do in order to save your marriage. And we're not full of these false promises or these false guarantees. We're very aware that there's no magic pill to fix a marriage, but with the 200,000 plus people that have gone through our courses and things and seminars that our team has created over the past 20 years, we have found that what we teach actually works. If you want to know the other stuff that we teach for different aspects of things you might be working on in your marriage, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. You'll get alerts of new stuff that comes out, and you can see all of the other things that we've talked about in the past that can be beneficial to you in your situation. But let's talk right now about what you can do if your husband is gone and how you can bring him back. First of all, understand this. You can't force your husband to come back. As much as you want to, and as much as you want that right phrase, that right word, that right look, whatever it might be, that will just bring your husband running back to you, it doesn't exist. Actually, the best thing you can do that can bring your husband back to you actually starts within yourself. Now, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I've heard it. I've heard this before. Go to the gym, lose some weight, then I'll be attractive and my husband will come back to me. And that's not it. That's only a small part of it, but that's not even the most important part of it. In fact, it starts even before you start working on yourself physically or anything like that. What I want to encourage you to think about and to ultimately do is to change your perspective in your mind. You see, if you're only wanting to do something in order to bring your husband back, and then you believe that once he comes back, everything's going to be fine again, then I want to encourage you to see things a little differently. In fact, many times when our husbands leave us, or it can even be the other way around, but that's not the situation that we're talking about here, but it's because there's been something else going on in the marriage. Or maybe even outside of the marriage, but ultimately someone's unhappy. Maybe it's been you, maybe it's been your husband, maybe it's been both of you. And so if your only goal right now is just to try and bring your husband back, and you're not trying to work on other things about your marriage, about your relationship, about you, then even if your husband were to come back right now, it wouldn't end with this fairy tale story. There would still be problems that could ultimately lead to another separation, and that's not what you want. So the best thing that you can start doing right now is to start working on you, but doing that by having a change in your perspective. You don't want to just work on you to bring your husband back. That should be a secondary goal. But your primary goal should be to work on yourself in order to become the best you that you can be for you. You should become the most attractive that you can be for you, for no matter what else happens. Because if you're only starting to work on yourself in order to bring your husband back, then as soon as your husband doesn't come back, or as soon as he starts coming back, but then things start to get shaky again, then you're going to abandon working on you because you're just going to say, nope, it's not working. I have to try something else. But in all honesty, with all of the people I've worked with, all of the women I've seen go through this, every single one of them hands down, has said that the best thing that they have done when they have been separated from their husbands has been working on themselves. That was it, because they knew that as long as they were working on them, then, first of all, they were becoming more confident. Their emotions were becoming calmer. They were better able to handle the chaos and all of the craziness that was going on with whether or not their husband was calling them or not calling them or whatever they were saying. They had this inner peace within them that made it all worth it, that made them able to carry through no matter what was happening around them. These women became strong. And you might be thinking, okay, I need to work on myself, and I understand I need to make sure I'm healthy and eating right and working out, and everyone understands that part. But there's actually 4 ways that you can start working on yourself right now, and the physical part of working on yourself is only one of them. At Marriage Helper, we call it the pies. You want to work on yourself physically, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually in order to be the best you that you can be. What does that mean? Physically, you want to get in the best shape that you can for your age and situation in life. You want to sleep right, you want to eat right, you want to move around, go for a walk, lift weights, whatever that looks like for you. You want to dress to where you feel confident, work on yourself physically. Intellectually, this intellectual part of working on yourself is you want to expand your mind. You don't want to just sit there and focus on all of the terrible things happening and how your husband's gone and worrying about what he's doing and having pity parties for yourself. No, you want to get your mind working, and definitely working in a way where it's not consumed by all the negative things happening. Maybe you start a new hobby. Maybe you start reading a book, or you finish your college degree if that's something that is a goal for you, but you get your mind in a place where you're not always worrying. You also want to work on yourself emotionally. What does that mean? Well, when we look at being the best you can be emotionally, we look at being the kind of person that evokes emotions in other people that they enjoy feeling. Well, what does that mean? That means when people come to you that you're gracious, you're loving, you are a listener, you're a good friend. Maybe you need to do this for your kids, maybe for your husband when he does talk to you. All of these things work together in order to get to those end goals of saving your marriage. And the emotional part of working on you is the most important part that you can do, because you want to become a safe place. Definitely for your husband, but also for other people in your life. And maybe that's where you have to start right now. Maybe if you have kids and they come to you and they want to talk about their day, instead of saying, I don't have time right now, you sit down and you listen to them. And you don't listen just to talk back to them, to respond to them, but you're listening to hear. That's a great place to start. And ultimately, you want to have that same kind of interaction with your husband. And you might be thinking, well, right now, he's not talking to me at all. So how in the world could I make that happen? If you're focusing on you and focusing on becoming the most attractive that you can be physically, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually, then if anything works to bring your husband back to you, this will. S is the final one, the spiritual aspect of attraction. What does that mean? It doesn't necessarily have to do with religion, although if you are a religious person, then that goes with this. But this means that you're a person who acts in accordance with your beliefs and values. If you say that you believe something is right, you actually do that. You're a person of high character that does the right thing. That is what we're looking for. And when you are working on yourself physically, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually, in all of these areas, you are going to become a more confident person. And if anything works to bring your spouse back, this will. We call it working on the pies. And like I said before, so many people have said, this process, working on my pies, has been, first of all, the best thing I could have ever done for myself. Because once I started working on my pies, I knew that I could handle anything life would throw my way. But then secondly, After that being my first goal, that second part of it is it did bring my husband back. And I hear it time and time and time again. You might be thinking, this is never going to work. How in the world could this happen? But I want to encourage you to try it, because what's the worst that could happen? That you become the most attractive you can be? That's not exactly a downside. I don't really see any cons to it. So work on yourself. Work on your pies, like we call it at Marriage Helper. And the next thing you want to do is you don't want to bash your husband on social media or to your friends or to your family, because if saving your marriage is the ultimate goal, then you don't want people who are going to become enemies of that goal. People who love you are going to see how much pain you're in and how much your husband has put you through. And because of their love for you, they're going to say, nope, you shouldn't go back to him. Nope, you need to just move on. And they mean well. But they don't know what we know at Marriage Helper, which is that no matter what your situation might be in, your marriage can be saved. And not just saved, it can be made stronger and better and more fulfilling than ever before. You see, at Marriage Helper, we believe that people deserve to be rescued. We believe that husbands, even when they leave their wives, that they can be rescued and that marriage can be saved. And we believe it can absolutely happen for you. We'd love to tell you more about how. You can visit our website at marriagehelper.com. You can call our team at 866-903-0990, where we'll talk to you about the coaching we have and the workshops and our online courses. And you can also subscribe to this channel, like and comment below, and look at the other videos that we have. Whatever we can do to help you, we are here.